What's up, YouTube? This your man Gerard with DBK Mobile Detailing down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Back with another video. And first off, I want to say to the fam, if you're coming back, welcome. And if you're not part of the family, welcome anyway. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family. And if you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at DBK_mobile_detailing. Without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So in today's video, I'm gonna tell y'all why I decided to go back to a gas pressure washer instead of an electric pressure washer. And I started out with a gas one, I switched to an electric. I done had quite a few of those, but we'll get into that later on in the video. But if you deciding on whether or not you should get a gas pressure washer or an electric pressure washer, or you undecided, don't know, stick around to this end of this video and I just might be able to help y'all out with that decision. So before I get into the specifics, I'm gonna tell y'all why I even decided to go with an electric pressure washer. The reason why I went with an electric pressure washer was, I guess you could say I kind of got caught up in the hype or whatnot. You know, electric just seemed more convenient or whatnot. And don't get me wrong, it was. I had the Ryobi. I started out with the Ryobi. I think it was the 1600 or whatnot. I had some issues with that one. I posted this video somewhere on the playlist. But anyway, it's a video I did about that one. Due to user error, I messed that one up. Then I had a DeWalt 2000 PSI, and I don't know what happened. That one just went out on me last year sometime. It just went out, like it stopped pulling pressure. I don't know, I ain't checked to see it. I was just fed up. I was like, you know what, screw it. So when I had got the first Ryobi pressure washer and I had took it back, they actually let me swap it out for another one. So I just kind of had that one sitting in the cut as a spare pressure washer. So I ended up pulling that one out. Don't get me wrong, I mean, it was good. You know, I ain't really had no real issues with it other than the gallons per minute. I believe is 1.2 gallons per minute, 1800 PSI. In which it did the job. And as far as like doing cars, you know, vehicles or whatnot, well, not no farm equipment or anything like that, but other than that, I mean, it served the purpose, like it was good. But like I said, I had my reasons for going back to a gas pressure washer. Because originally I started out with a DeWalt gas pressure washer, and like I said, I guess I got caught up in the hype with the electric pressure washer, so I ended up switching it out. And I'm gonna tell y'all some of the pros and cons as far as having an electric pressure washer. The pros is everything's on the same, I guess you could say, power source. You know, I had of course, my shop vac, my pressure washer, my pump, everything was ran off the generator. So the only thing I had to worry about was just putting gas in the generator, and that was it. I had to worry about nothing else. But as far as a con, I mean, the only con that like I said earlier, what I had with the electric pressure washer was it was taking too long to rinse vehicles off. And I believe it was because of the 1.2 gallons per minute. So it's not really dumping out water like that to, you know, get that rinse the car off, or, you know, to kind of get the dirt off of it or whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I had already knew in the back of my mind, like eventually, you know, I'm gonna switch it out. Like I'm gonna go ahead and go back gas where I started at. Now I will say this, if you just starting out or if you're on a budget, the electric pressure washer is definitely the cheaper way to go, and it will get the job done, I say that. So I don't want this to be like I'm just bashing electric pressure washers, because there are some good ones out there. But me personally, I just prefer to have a gas, about to say generator. I prefer that too, but I prefer to have a gas pressure washer just because it serves the purposes that I have and the needs that I have, as far as what my plans are, I guess you could say, or whatever jobs I have going on, it serves that purpose. But like I say, if you're on a budget or you just starting out and you know you need to get a pressure washer, by all means, I would definitely recommend go to Home Depot, grab the Ryobi, or go to Lowe's, get the Craftsman, whichever one, because they only like $100, $150, something like that. But yeah, definitely, I'm not trying to bash electric pressure washers, but I wanted the gas. So let's get into that, man, because that's what this video is really about. So other than detailing vehicles, I do also get like semi trucks, you know, that go through the waste yard or, you know, on the back dirt roads that they need to be cleaned off. And the electric pressure washer just was not cutting it. I was spending way too much time trying to clean these trucks off. And I get quite a few off-road vehicles. People got ATVs and the Jeep Wranglers and the trucks that they like to take off-road. I get quite a few of those. And the electric just was not doing it for me. I mean, it was, but it was just taking too much time to get it done. And from time to time, I have been known to pressure wash a house. Yes, pressure wash a house. We play in water all day, every day. There's no reason why you shouldn't be looking to expand, or, you know, somebody say, hey, can you pressure wash a house? Oh, no, I don't do that. Nah, yeah, we do that too. But that was one of the main reasons why I decided, you know what, I need to go back to this gas pressure washer. And not just any pressure washer. I wanted a specific pressure washer the way I wanted it done, so that it would last me, you know, I guess you could say for years to come. So here's what I got. Instead of going the traditional route, in which I was looking into it, I was thinking about, you know, just getting a pressure washer, you know, going to buy one, but I wanted a good one. I was looking at the Simpson, I was looking at some of the Honda pressure washers, and I was like, okay, if I get one of these pressure washers, then what? I didn't know how that was gonna turn out for me, but I knew, like I say, in mind what I wanted. So, only alternative to that was, I was like, hey, you know what? Let me do my research. And with my research, I came up with the bright idea. I was like, hey, why don't I just build one or put one together? That way I can have it to my specific needs in the way I want it. So after doing my research at YouTube University and talking to a couple people or whatnot, I found out that it would actually be a little bit better and more cost effective for me to just put one together. So what I did was I went and got the Predator engine from Harbor Freight, and I actually got a cat pump. But the way I have it set up, like I say, is specific to my needs for detailing first, because that's what we do, and, you know, pressure washing, you know, houses, heavy duty equipment, stuff like that. You know, it's a well-rounded pressure washer. It's not just a crank up and go, and, you know, it's set at 1 PSI, 4,000 or 3,500 PSI, because honestly, you really don't need all of that, especially if you're doing, you know, your typical everyday detailing, you know, on vehicles. You don't need that much pressure or whatnot. I wouldn't even recommend that much pressure, because you could definitely strip the clear coat off of somebody's car, or worse. All right, so I'm gonna bring y'all on the inside of the van, and please excuse this flickering light, man. I gotta change these LED lights out. I don't know what happened. If y'all know, let me know. I'm just thinking about changing them out, man. This one keeps flickering. But leave it in the comments and let me know, do you prefer gas over electric? And if so, which one do you have, whether it be gas pressure washer or electric pressure washer? Leave it in the comments and let me know which one you have and what you like about it and what you don't like about it. But I'm finna give y'all a walkthrough on my pressure washer build. So like I said, I got the Harbor Freight. It's a 212cc, I believe it's 6.5 horsepower Predator engine, motor or whatever. And I originally was going with a different pump, but the Northern Tool here in Charlotte, one of them, they actually have a shop where they put together pressure washers for detailers and for, you know, people who do all sorts of pressure washing. It's a shop in there. So I actually had the luxury and the pleasure of being able to go back there and talk to the man and explain to him exactly what I was wanting and, you know, how I was wanting it done. So instead of just going with any old typical pump, he recommended me this cat pump right here, and I'm gonna show y'all. This is the cat pump that he recommended to me. I don't know if you can see that light flickering, but it's model number 2SF35GS. That's the specific one that he recommended for me. And the reason being is because not only is it a pump, it's a plunger pump. Because if you look down here, I no longer use this to pump water. This is what I was having to pump water to my electric pressure washer with, was this pump. So now I actually got this pump going right up into my DI water tank. So basically this is all a separate line. This going from this DI tank, which is pulling water out of here, through this pump and into my water hose over there, what I use to do my final rinse with. But this pump is a plunger pump, and what it does is it actually sucks the water. And as you can see, it is gravity fed from this line here. This line, it comes up in here, it sucks the water in, boom, goes through here. This pump right here is actually rated for 2,000 PSI at 3.5 gallons per minute. And I know I'm gonna get in the comments, people gonna say, man, you dumping water out, whatever, you wasting water. But truth be told, I actually learned my water management skills with the electric pressure washer. So I really don't have that issue. It's not an issue for me. Because like I've stated in previous videos, I got a 150 gallon water tank right here. No, I don't fill it up to 150 gallons. I usually put it at about between 75, 80 gallons. And even with this pressure washer, it's more than enough for me to get through the day. Like, I literally could do 5 or 6 cars with the 80 gallons and the 75 to 80 gallons. Depending on the size of the vehicle and how dirty it is, I can get through 5 or 6. I typically don't do 5 or 6 vehicles a day, which is why I usually have water left over from the day before. I'm only doing 3, 4 max. That's all I want to do, because depending on what all I'm getting done, I'm not gonna say that I'm doing cars in 30 minutes, 40 minutes or whatnot. And sometimes we own these vehicles for anywhere from an hour to 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, just depending on what are we doing to that vehicle. So anyway, and the pressure washer, it also came with a unloader valve. My bad, I said pressure washer, the pump. It came with the unloader valve on it. So I can adjust my pressure. I usually keep it set at around 1,500, between 1,500 and 1,200 and 1,500 PSI when I'm doing maintenance in, regular vehicles. Now, if I get to some, dirty stuff or something that's, need a little bit more oomph to it, then of course, I can adjust that pressure. If I'm pressure washing a 2-story house, I can adjust that pressure. And I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but I got a pressure gauge right here. And I do have a 100-foot hose. So I'm pretty sure that when I have it set at 1,500, I'm pretty sure the pressure does drop down some. I'm not gonna say a lot, but it does drop down some, not noticeably. And that's why I wanted a commercial pump or pressure washer system put together, because I wanted to be able to run it with my setup. And yes, I did put it together myself. I could have went with a Honda pressure washer. I know I'm gonna hear that in the comments too. But based off of my research, the Honda pressure washer and these Predator pressure washers are pretty much almost, I ain't gonna say identical, but by this time you basically just paying for the name. That's the way I looked at it. So I was like, this engine, I got it on sale at Harbor Freight. It was $100, or the motor, I got it for $100. Comes with a warranty. I got the extended Harbor Freight warranty. So if this goes out, I can take it back. And we all know Harbor Freight, they don't ask no questions. They stand behind their warranties. And the pump, I got it at Northern Tool, and it came with its warranty. The pump itself, just for the cat pump, I believe I was in at like a little over 5, maybe 510 or something like that. It was 500 and some change out the door. The fittings I did have to purchase on my own. So this fitting, which is the thermal relief valve, that, the filter, this, and this right here was key. So a lot of the fittings I did have to purchase on my own. So with the fittings included, the hoses and everything, I probably was looking at maybe about another $75 to $100, because I didn't know these fittings weren't cheap, especially like these elbows right here. These elbow pieces right here, they were not cheap. So basically, this setup that I have is designed to run continuously, because that was one of the key points that I wanted to mention. With these gas pressure washers, if you sit the one down, I don't care where you buy it from. I don't care if it's a Honda pressure washer, Simpson, whatever. And if you don't have it set up correctly, when you sit that gun down and you leave that pressure washer running, you are running the risk, if not burning the motor up in the pump, which is probably why a lot of times guys have to replace the pumps and you hear about it, oh, my pump went out, whatever. So the way this pressure washer is built, it is designed to not burn this pump out. And I'm gonna show you why. Right here below this unloader valve is a relief, well, I'm gonna call it a relief line. So basically what happens is when water comes in here and I'm squeezing the gun, it's circulating in, coming through here, and it's going back out when I'm squeezing the gun. When I stop squeezing the gun, squeezing the trigger on the one, that water stops here because the trigger's no longer open. And that water, without this, it'll just keep circulating through the pump, getting hot. And over time, it'll burn the bearings, burn the pump up or whatnot, and then you have to replace it or get it fixed. So to alleviate that, we got this right here, this backflow. What it does is once I release the trigger, water then comes back through this hose and it travels back into my water tank. That way, if I have to sit the gun down for any reason, you know, maybe I'm doing tires and, you know, each one, you know, you sit the one down, or if I'm doing, you know, washing the vehicle, you know, I have to sit the gun down. Like, nobody's gonna keep, you know, turning off and cranking up your pressure washer. You know, you wanna be able to just pick it up and go. Or if a customer come out, or if, you know, a potential customer ride past and, you know, wanna ask some questions or whatnot, because I'm that type of person. Whenever, you know, somebody come up and they talk to me, I try to entertain them for a little bit. Like, I don't brush people off, because at the end of the day, they're inquiring about my services that I provide. So I take the time out to explain it to them, or, you know, answer whatever questions they have. And that could take anywhere from 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending on, you know, the conversation or whatever. And the last thing you want to do is for your pump to be burning up while you're doing that talking or whatnot, so you can sit it down. And like I say, all that water does is cycle back through. It goes back into the water tank and it keeps pumping into the water tank. And I'm gonna show y'all that in a minute. But first I wanted to show you the makeup of it. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this quick because I know it's loud, man, but as you can see, you see the water's flowing out now. That's because I'm not squeezing the trigger. And once I squeeze this trigger gun, the water stops coming out. I let off of it, it immediately goes back to filling up the bucket. All right, man. I hope y'all heard me, man. I know it was loud. I'm sitting right here next to this pressure washer, but as you can see, what I was trying to demonstrate was once I let go of the trigger, the water starts flowing. It starts flowing out of this backflow. This is the hose that goes back into my water tank. So it's not wasting water, it's not, you know, spewing water on the ground, it's going right back where it came from. Once I squeeze the trigger, it immediately stops. I let off of it, it starts back flowing again. But I want to show y'all something. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. If you see it, you see where I got it set at. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right at 1500. And I've turned it off. So, like I say, I usually keep it anywhere between 12 and 1500, just for the sake of, you know, detailing cars or whatnot, because I don't want to be shooting that high pressure out. Like I say, I can do houses, I can do off-road vehicles, semi-trucks, but all in all, man, I've been playing with this pressure washer for maybe a few weeks now, so I've had a chance. I went through the breakthrough cycle of the Predator engine. And I also got this meter so I can keep up with the time, because you're supposed to change the oil after the first 20 hours of use, and I think I'm almost there. But as far as the pump, I did have to put oil in it or whatnot. And as far as the pros, man, I like it. It's exactly what I wanted. Like, that's how I wanted my setup. Other than, I did get the skid plate off of Amazon. I ordered that. It came with these rubber stoppers. I just hadn't had time, but I'm gonna go get some longer screws and I'm gonna bolt them up to this little platform that I made just so it can sit on, because it was too close over that way. So I figure if I raise it up some, I can scoot it over that way and That's why this strap is on here in case somebody looking at that. That's why I got it strapped down to that so it don't slide off. But that'll be getting changed real soon. As far as cons, I can't say that I really experienced the con with it yet. Even with the gas, like I got a 5-gallon gas container that I usually keep full, and I just usually top it off at the end of the day whenever I'm doing my restocking of the van and, you know, filling back up my chemicals in my water tank if need be. I'll just, you know, top it off or whatnot. And I actually think I save more gas because, like I say, I'm not running the generator the whole time that I'm sitting out there. And it's been in some instances where I might have had the generator on, you know, 10, 15 minutes, especially on like a maintenance client, you know, just to use the air compressor. I take my little shop, my portable shop vac out. I won't even pull out my big hose or whatnot. I just take that out, vacuum up what I need to vacuum up, wipe it down, blow everything off, and, you know, it's not needed. So yeah, I think I do save more gas in the generator that way because I found out that I'm not, you know, having to fill it up as much or keep it full as much. As far as a con, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of a con that I got with this pressure washer setup that I got because, like I said, I took my time and I did my research, and it's pretty much the way I wanted it, you know, built for longevity. Like I plan on having this until I get another unit, and I'll probably be putting one of these in there. Now, granted, I ain't gonna go out like that because I still do got my electric pressure washer as a backup. So if for whatever reason, you know, I keep it on the van with me because it's small, it's portable. Well, not portable, but it's small and it's compact, so it don't take up much of a footprint. And just for whatever reason, if I forget to put gas in it and run out, at least I know I got that, and it still got the fittings on there. So it's just boom, boom, and reconnect. And I'm ready to go plug it back up to the generator. But other than that, man, this is my pressure washer, my cat pump, my Predator engine, and all the fittings and the hoses and everything. I probably say I might have spent maybe about between $600 and $700 altogether, just to kind of give you an idea. But like I say, I could have went and bought a regular Honda pressure washer and spent that on that, not including the setup, the fittings, and the frame that it's sitting on. Like that would have been costing me extra money. So I think to get what I wanted, I think I saved myself a few dollars. I say that. Like I'm content. If you've been a detailer for any length of time and you got, you know, a steady flow of work coming in and you're thinking about doing this, then yeah, I would recommend it. You know, you can always save up for it. That's what I did. I didn't just go jump and get it. But if you're just starting out, I would recommend going with an electric pressure washer. For the simple fact, it's more budget friendly and you can still get the job done. And last thing you want to do is go buy a pressure washer like this or even a regular gas pressure washer and tear it up. $300-400, you know, that's still $300-400 going down the drain, and you're gonna have to replace it anyway. So I would say go with the electric pressure washer. As far as upgrades, I don't think I'll be doing any more upgrades to this van. If I do, it'll be another unit. When I know, y'all will know. But other than that, man, y'all let me know if you think I made a good decision or whatnot, or if you got this set up or one similar to it. Tell me what you think about it, what you like and what you don't like about it. Or if it's any problems that I haven't encountered that I may be going to encounter, let me know. And if you are thinking about doing this and you don't know how to go about doing it, feel free to hit me in my inbox. Go follow me on Instagram at DBK_mobile_detailing. I'd be more than happy to give you the blueprint on how to put one of these together because it is simple. But other than that, man, I appreciate y'all riding along with me on this video. And as always, y'all be blessed, be prosperous, and I will definitely catch y'all on the next one. And if you ain't part of the family, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family.